What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So I've been slowly adding a few more tech items here and there to my living room and other spots around my new place. And one item in particular that's made a huge difference to my setup has been this soundbar for my TV. I didn't go crazy with some over-the-top surround sound system with speakers and subwoofers or anything like that. Instead, I just took this simple budget route and went for this single inexpensive soundbar from BlitzWolf, which is available for under $100. And it's made a noticeable improvement to my Netflix binge watching experience. As TVs have gotten slimmer and crispier and better overall, we've kind of been left with not so great built-in speakers, aside from a couple exceptions. But generally speaking, I certainly had no idea just how much better things sound with a fairly inexpensive soundbar like this one compared to just the standard speaker setup coming directly from the TV. Size-wise, this BlitzWolf soundbar doesn't take up too much space. It's about 36 inches across, and it's certainly sleek enough to blend into most living room setups. It's got those glossy accents with very prominent speaker grills up along the front and across the top, and it's plastic rather than a cloth or fabric, so keep that in mind if you're looking for a particular style, but I think overall it does look pretty nice. On the speaker bar itself, you've got some buttons and controls, but you won't necessarily need to use those because it comes with a dedicated remote. But even still, for a lot of people, you probably won't even need to use this remote, depending on how you set up the soundbar with your TV. You've got a fair number of options here in regards to how you want to connect it, from optical to coaxial, even Bluetooth if you want to use it with a smartphone or a laptop. But the most convenient option is HDMI ARC. A lot of TVs support this connection type, mine did, so it was honestly just a plug and play type of setup. There's no settings to tweak, no options to change, and just one single HDMI cable had me up and running. That also meant that because of my TV and cable box setup, my cable box remote, which is the Cox Contour setup here in the US, was able to recognize the soundbar automatically also, and can be used to change the volume. So everything, the TV, the soundbar, channels, it's all still controlled by one single remote. The only thing you might need to do is change the EQ options on the soundbar with the dedicated remote, depending on what sound profile you like best. There's a movie mode, news, sports, dynamic, and each mode emphasizes different things like speech or music or sound effects, so you aren't stuck with just one sound profile. Because my TV stand is grayish black, I think the soundbar blends in pretty well with everything. I'm not 100% sure on the placement as far as if I want it up towards the front or pushed back underneath the TV to hide the cables. Still sort of working on that whole thing, but beyond that, the most important thing is how it sounds, especially compared to the regular TV speakers. And first and foremost, the soundbar, even though it's relatively small, offers booming sound. This gets ridiculously loud, louder than I'll ever even need it. 30 and above on the volume scale is like movie theater sound level that surprisingly isn't tinny or distorted. It still sounds awesome. Now, flipping through the different EQ modes, there's a very apparent difference in what is emphasized. So for TV shows, for example, you'll probably want the dialogue to be crystal clear, and with movies or sports, you might want other things more prominent. The only EQ profile I wasn't a fan of was the news option. I thought everything on there was a little muffled, but the other profiles were awesome no matter what I was watching. Now, full disclosure, this is really my first experience with any sort of soundbar. So sure, I could be easily impressed coming from just the standard mediocre TV audio, but getting a nearly movie theater-like sound experience from my living room TV for under $100 was a pleasant surprise and well worth the investment. Is a high-end surround sound system with individual speakers and subwoofers going to be a lot better? Yeah, of course, but if you want to take your living room setup up a notch for cheap, this is a solid option all around. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this soundbar setup in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.